Before it's too late, the story of Arav. In a quiet town surrounded by dusty roads and small houses lived a boy named Arav. He wasn't the smartest in school, he wasn't the most talented, and he definitely wasn't the richest. But there was something different about him. Arav was afraid, not of failure, not of hard work. He was afraid of becoming ordinary. Every evening Arav would climb to the rooftop of his house. From there he could see the entire town, small shops closing for the day, people walking home with tired faces, the same routine repeating again and again. And as the sun slowly disappeared, one thought would always come to his mind. Will I end up like this too? Working every day, waiting for weekends, and one day growing old with regrets. Arav didn't want that life. He wanted something more. He wanted success. He wanted freedom. And most importantly, he wanted it before it was too late. One day, while walking back from school, Arav stopped at a small tea stall. There he noticed an old man sitting quietly. The man wasn't doing anything. He was just staring into the distance. His clothes were simple. His hands were slightly shaking. But his eyes felt different. They weren't just tired. They were empty. Arav felt something strange. He walked up to the old man and asked softly, "Uncle, what are you thinking about?" The old man looked at him and gave a small, tired smile. "I'm thinking about my life," he said, "and how I wasted it." Arav sat down beside him. "Wasted it? How?" The old man took a deep breath. "I had dreams, Beta, big dreams. I wanted to build something of my own. I wanted to travel, to achieve something, to make my family proud." He paused for a moment. "But I kept waiting. Waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the perfect moment." His voice became softer. "And now, time is gone. Energy is gone. Opportunities are gone." Arav felt a chill run through his body. He asked slowly, "Do you regret it?" The old man looked straight into his eyes and said, "Regret? I live with it, every single day." That night Arav couldn't sleep. He kept turning in his bed, staring at the ceiling. The words echoed in his mind again and again. "I live with it, every single day." He closed his eyes tightly and whispered to himself, "I don't want to live like that." The next morning changed everything. Before the sun even rose, Arav woke up. There was no alarm, no pressure, just a decision. At first it wasn't easy. While his friends were playing games, Arav sat with his books. While others wasted hours scrolling on their phones, Arav started learning new skills. People laughed at him. "Why are you working so hard? Enjoy your life. You're still young." Even his relatives said, "Relax, you have your whole life ahead." But Arav knew something they didn't. Time doesn't wait. Days turned into months, months turned into years, and the journey was not easy. Arav failed many times. He didn't always get good results. He lost opportunities. He started things that didn't work. There were days he felt completely lost. Days when he questioned everything. Is this even worth it? Why is nothing working? There were nights when giving up felt easier than continuing. But every time he felt like quitting, he remembered those eyes, the empty eyes of the old man. And Arav would whisper to himself, "Not me. I will not become a what-if story." One day, after years of struggle, Arav decided to take a big risk. He started something of his own. It was small, very small. There was no guarantee of success, no safety net, just belief. At first, nothing happened. No one noticed him. No one supported him. Nothing worked. People said, "This won't work. You're wasting your time. Get a stable job." Even his own mind sometimes whispered, "Maybe they're right." But Arav had come too far to go back, so he kept going, one step at a time, one day at a time, learning, improving, growing. And then, slowly, things began to change. Opportunities started appearing. People began to notice his work. His efforts started to pay off. Years later, Arav became successful. Not overnight, not easily, but honestly. One evening, Arav returned to that same tea stall. Everything looked the same road, the same bench, the same silence. But one thing was missing. The old man wasn't there anymore. Arav stood there quietly, looking at the empty chair. He slowly sat down and placed his hand on it. A soft smile appeared on his face. "Thank you," he whispered. "I chose action because of your regret." As the sun began to set, Arav looked at the sky once again. But this time, there was no fear, no doubt, only peace. Because he knew one thing. He didn't wait. He didn't delay. He didn't say, "tomorrow." He started before it was too late. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect time. It comes to those who act while time is still in their hands.